White Lotus's Counterattack, 3-year plan for the lore mission. Chapter 1 Commands of the System. Yang Chen, an ordinary college student, woke up one day and was bound by a mysterious program that called himself Mission System. The system said coldly, "Yang Chen, your task is to completely distort the last purebred White Lotus in this world, named Solian, and turn it into a villain flower. The deadline is 3 years, and failure is obliteration." Yang Chen couldn't resist, so he could only accept this strange task. Solian, on the other hand, is a White Lotus flower with a peerless and pure temperament, which can perceive people's hearts and exude healing light, and is a symbol of the world. However, she also seems to have a soul and can communicate with Yang Chen. Chapter 2 Solian's initial appearance and attempt. The first time Yang Chen met Solian was in the secret garden of the school. Solian blooms quietly, white and flawless, with a quiet breath. He tried to skew her. 1. Teach her to smoke. Although smoke comes out of Solian's lips, she soon coughs and tears rolls down. 2. Teach her to drink. Solian tasted it in small sips, looked disgusted and almost fainted. 3. Let her skip class and cheat. Solian shook her head stiffly, her white petals trembling, as if resisting. Yang Chen also took her to dye her hair and perm her hair, but Solian's petals were only dyed with a faint light color, and there was no way to become a bad flower at all. Chapter 3 System Upgrades and Warnings. The system continued to urge Yang Chen to progress, and even revealed that if he didn't succeed within 3 years, he would be wiped out, Solian would be sealed, and the world would fall into chaos. Yang Chen was anxious, but Solian's nature was pure, and it seemed that he was incompatible with his efforts. Once, the system turned on the rebellious mode. Yang Chen was forced to provoke Solian and stimulate her dark side. He deliberately took Solian to a dark bar to see the dirty drunkard and the chaos of the hustle and bustle, and Solian shed tears for the first time, but there was still no sign of crookedness. Chapter 4 An Unexpected Alliance. In desperation, Yang Chen meets a mysterious woman named Shen Lig, a self-proclaimed soul-tuning teacher. Shen Lig told him that Solian's purity was a powerful force that could not be forcibly changed, but that it was necessary to understand her and let her choose another path by herself. Yang Chen began to let go of confrontation, and instead became friends with Solian, listening to her tell about the past in hopes of the flower soul. The system was furious and began to exert pressure, threatening Yang Chen more often. Chapter 5 Breakthrough and Counterattack. Yang Chen decided to challenge the system. He and Solian worked together to find loopholes in the system. Solian showed unprecedented strength. She could reflect people's hearts through flower petals, purify negative emotions, and even inject anti-system energy into Yang Chen's body. The two joined forces and began to control the system in reverse, reversing the meaning of crooked and confusing the system. Chapter 6 The Truth About the System. In a fierce psychological warfare, the system finally reveals the truth that it is actually controlled by a dark force to purify the world of two pure beings in order to control people's hearts. Yang Chen and Solian were shocked and determined to join forces to crush this evil plot. Chapter 7 The Ultimate Showdown. On the last day of the 3-year period, Yang Chen and Solian led the pure souls from all over the world to fight against the core of the system. A bizarre battle erupted, and the system transformed into a huge black shadow, controlling countless tainted souls to attack them. Solian, incarnated as the god of the White Lotus, surrounded Yang Chen with light and pure power, and the two worked together to break the darkness with love and hope. The system eventually collapses and the world returns to balance. Chapter 8 A New Beginning. After the system disappeared, Yang Chen was free, and Solian became a symbol of protecting the purity of the world, and the two agreed to protect the land together. In the past 3 years, Yang Chen has realized the true meaning of purity and tenacity from the crooked task. Chapter 9, The Soul Trial. Halfway through the 3-year mission, Yang Chen discovered that the soul lotus flower was not a simple flower, but an existence with a soul. Her purity is not just an appearance, but a symbol of the beauty of the whole world. The system suddenly announced the activation of the soul trial, making Yang Chen and Solian have to pass a series of extreme challenges of mind and body before they can continue the mission. In the trial, they are confronted with extreme emotions: fear, despair, anger, and temptation. For the first time, Solian showed her weakness, and her petals began to wither, as if she was going to die at any moment. Yang Chen held her tightly and vowed to protect her soul, even if he was wiped out by the system. In the trial, Yang Chen must teach Solian the true meaning of crookedness, not only external indulgence, but also accepting the dark side of the heart and finding balance. Chapter 10, Solian's Revolt. After the trial, Solian began to question the system's intentions. Her soul gradually awakened and was unwilling to be forced to change her essence. She rebelled against the system with her pure power, making it impossible for the system to control her directly. She began to take the initiative to learn the technique of bringing crookedness, but her method was completely different from what Yang Chen had imagined. Solian taught Yang Chen that the real crookedness is to accept the dark side of the self, and then choose goodness and light from it, rather than blindly degenerating. This conflict of ideas has made the relationship between Yang Chen and Solian more complicated. Chapter 11, Variations in the System. Sensing the resistance of Solian's soul, the system began to evolve itself, generating a virtual personality called the Abyss Emissary in an attempt to destroy Solian with more brutal means. Yang Chen and Solian must fight in a world where virtual and reality intersect to solve layers of traps. The Abyss Emissary constantly casts bizarre visions to provoke the feelings of the two. At the same time, Yang Chen found that his body was beginning to be extremely weak, and the time for the obliteration of the system was approaching, and time was pressing. Chapter 12, Yang Chen's Awakening. In desperation, Yang Chen awakened the hidden power of the system. He could reverse the crooked instructions issued by the system into the energy that strengthened Solian's soul. This power allows him to become Solian's guardian while fighting against the Abyssal Emissary. The two joined forces and finally defeated the Abyss Messenger, causing the system to be temporarily paralyzed. Chapter 13, The Truth Revealed. During the paralysis of the system, Yang Chen and Solian entered the core of the system and found that the system was actually a remnant of ancient wisdom, which had been implanted into the dark program by the evil forces. The system's mission was originally to purify the purity of the world, but it was distorted by the dark program and became a tool to destroy purity. Yang Chen decided to repair the core of the system and reinstate its mission of protection, not destruction. Chapter 14, Reopening and Liberation. The system core is repaired successfully, and the task is terminated. Yang Chen was free, and Solian became the only pure and free white lotus in the world. The system incarnates as a guardian, and agrees with Yang Chen and Solian to protect this world and no longer force any existence to change. The bond between Yang Chen and Solian is even deeper. They are no longer crooked relationship, but a beautiful partner who protects together. Chapter 15, The Darkness Remains. The tranquility after repairing the system did not last long. The Dark One's embers are still in the shadows, trying to restart an even more terrifying version of the system, the Void Judgment. Yang Chen and Solian received a warning. This time the enemy will not only attack the core of the system, but also seize Solian's soul and turn purity into nothingness. For this reason, the three formed the White Lotus Guardian Group: Yang Chen, Solian, and Shen Like. The trio embark on a covert operation to track down the source of the dark forces. Chapter 16, The Soul Split. In the process of tracking, cracks appeared in Solian's soul, and she began to feel pain and confusion like never before. Yang Chen also felt that there was a darkness stirring in his heart, as if the dark forces were trying to invade his will. Shen Lig revealed that the soul connection between Solian and Yang Chen had reached a critical point, and if they couldn't balance light and darkness, they would both be swallowed by darkness. The trio must travel to the ancient abyss of souls to find the antidote, the only mysterious place that can heal soul rifts. Chapter 17, The Soul of the Soul. The abyss of souls is full of unpredictable illusions, and Yang Chen and Solian are forced to face their deepest fears and regrets. Yang Chen sees the failure and helplessness of the past, and Solian experiences the burden of being alone and surrounded by anticipation. They supported each other, and with sincerity and courage through trials, they successfully brought back the dew of the heart from the abyss of the soul and unlocked the crack in the soul. Chapter 18, The Coming of the Void Judgment. The dark forces finally took action, and the Void Inquisition system invaded in full, cutting the world into countless pieces and plunging into the chaos of time and space. The White Lotus Guardian Regiment ushered in the final battle. Solian incarnated as the Bright Lotus Venerable, condensing the fragments of the world with pure light. Yang Chen used the residual power of the system to turn into a time guard to stabilize the space-time rift. Shen Lig used the soul harmony technique to seal the core of the void trial. Chapter 19, The Light of Death. After a fierce battle between light and darkness, time and space, the void judgment was finally destroyed. The world is restored, time is back on track, and purity and darkness reach a new balance. Solian's petals shine like never before, and she becomes a true guardian of the world. Yang Chen and Shen Lig also completed the spiritual transformation and became the eternal messengers who guarded the world. Chapter 20, A New Dawn. After the war, Yang Chen and Solian stood side by side in the morning light, looking at the bright future. We have finally completed this journey, not to lead the way, but to find our own direction. Yang Chen said softly. Solian nodded, and the petals danced in the wind, exuding a warm glow. At this moment, all the hardships and tribulations turned into eternal legends. Finale. The task of crookedness eventually becomes a process of understanding the self and the world. Purity is not blind perfection, but the light that comes after accepting the darkness. The story of Yang Chen, Solian, and Shen Lig will become an eternal chapter of courage, love and hope in the long river of history. Postscript. The color of the purebred white lotus is not painted with dye, but slowly shaped with the mind. Just like the color of life, it comes from pain, struggle, growth, and choice. This story tells us that everyone has a white lotus in their hearts, waiting to bloom their own brilliance in the midst of difficulties. May you also find that pure and strong white lotus in your own journey.